what's your passion? Genuinely, what is your passion? We're always being told to pursue our passions and the profit will follow, or find your purpose in life. But what if you don't have a passion, or you don't have just one passion, or you don't have one thing that you can pursue? What if your passion changes? Here's why you need to stop pursuing your passion. Hey, welcome to another Mic Drop on Monday. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name's Sam Martin. You can find me online at Socially Sam, and this is my weekly video that drops every Monday morning, giving you a few little tips or sometimes just a little bit of a rant to help you work harder and smarter on the week ahead. And this week, I was actually talking to someone the other day about how the way forward, because work's changing, life's changing, the environment's changing, everything's changing, isn't it, all the time. Like 20 years ago, we had no internet, we didn't have mobile phones, we couldn't even order our shopping online. Now, that's all we do. We stare at a mobile phone and order everything online. But what happens in another 20 years' time? Well, we don't know, because we don't know what's going to be invented yet, do we? And that's why I kind of think it's a little bit wrong for us to still try and pigeonhole kids into saying, okay, what do you want to do when you leave school, or when you leave college or university or whatever, to sort of pin them down to pursuing one thing. And likewise, actually, from an income perspective, it makes more sense to have multiple income streams. So therefore, you could probably actually be doing yourself a disservice by only pursuing one passion. Like, if I was to pursue one passion in life, like, I love football, but you know, my hopes of being a Premiership footballer at 42, those days are over. And I'm a girl. However, I did get to go and play football with Phil Neville last week. I'll just put some B-roll film in here for you to view what we got up to. Obviously, I was too old to play. It was for the kids, but I went along to review it, and I did write a review about it. It was really cool. But obviously, like I said, my days of being a footballer are over. But if I had other passions in life, I'd probably really struggle to pin it down to one thing I was really passionate about, and that was the one thing I wanted to pursue. Because obviously when I was at school, we didn't have computers, we certainly didn't have the internet, there was no mobile phones, there was no social media, there was no digital marketing. There was basically everything I earn money from now didn't exist when I was at school. So if I'd have pursued one course, I don't know where I will be, because I certainly wouldn't be doing what I do now. I've always kind of just fallen into whatever I do. So whether it be blogging, I just kind of read someone else's blog and was like, that's cool, I could do that. And so I did it. And that's how I got started blogging like 12 years ago now. And everything digital sort of came from that. But at the time I was working as an accountant. Very different to what I do now. And then somebody asked me the other day, well, what exactly is it you do? And I was like, well, I do lots of things online and get paid for it, whether it be writing reviews, making videos, doing digital marketing for people, building websites for people, creating content for people, doing loads of things like that. And I think actually that kind of makes sense for the way forward, is to have multiple income streams. I'm also reading a book by Emma Gannon as well, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. And that is basically about being multifaceted. She calls it multi-hyphenate. But it's basically creating multiple income streams, because chances are, if you're passionate about something, very few people are just passionate about one thing. Like, you know, like I said, going back 20 years ago, we didn't know about plastics in the oceans. We didn't know about how whales were eating all the plastic, and there was all this garbage floating out in the seas and all those kind of things. We didn't have a clue about it. But obviously, now we do know about it, and people are very passionate about that. Nobody ever heard of vegans 20 years ago. Obviously, people are inclined to be a vegan these days. So as society changes, and as we as people change, our passions are going to change. So if you pigeonhole yourself into pursuing one thing and going in one direction, what happens when your interests change? Like, you know, what I was interested in my 20s and my 30s are probably very different now. Like, you know, my 20s and 30s, I was interested in Smirnoff Ice and Marlboro Lights. I don't drink or smoke anymore. So we change as people, and our life takes us in different directions. So actually, to say to pursue your passion is probably a little bit wrong, and actually you should just pursue loads of things that make you happy, and if one of them makes you money, great, and if another one makes you happy, that's even better. And don't be afraid to explore different things. Even if you have a full-time job, it's quite okay to have a side hustle that makes you some money. It's okay to have 2 jobs, it's okay to have 3 jobs, whatever works for you. At the end of the day, we're so dictated to sometimes in society about, oh, you have to have a job, and you have to work full-time, and you have to do this, and you have to get a house, and you have to pay bills, and you have to drive a car with 4 doors, and all those kind of things. And sometimes people get criticised for being out of the norm, and it's like the other day when I was asked, well, what is it you do? And I was like, well, I do this, and I do this, and I do this. Essentially I probably have if I was giving myself a job title, I probably have 20 different titles. But at the end of the day, I earn a full-time income, and that's what matters. And I keep the roof on my head, and my child fed, and we have little days out and holidays and all those kind of things. And surely that's what actually matters. Am I pursuing a passion? Yeah, to a certain degree. But I might find something else I'm interested in next year. In 10 years' time, I may hate the bloody internet. Social media may not exist. Everything in the world might be different. So it's important that instead of pursue your passion, just roll with it. As time evolves, don't be afraid to pursue new things. Don't be afraid to change it up. Don't be afraid to have multiple income streams. Just do what's right for you. And there concludes this week's rant. Again, I keep ranting, don't I? That's probably not the best thing to be doing. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to share it. Please go and follow all my other social media channels, but no following me in the street because that's just creepy, and I will speak to you again soon.